Now to the modern era.
Then let's get it done, people. We've got a planet to save before breakfast.
I love this job.
Discovery's pilot was a shock, but I'd seen trailers and you'd seen that it was a different kind of look and a different kind of style. And I went in going and I watched Doctor Who. And Doctor Who changes production teams and it's just a different look for everything. And that's what I looked at Discovery as. It was that sort of reboot with a different producer. And I actually really liked it. I liked Michael Burnham as a character. It was a different style, focusing on one character instead of a crew. I liked, obviously, Michelle Yeoh. I think that the pilot was really strong. Seeing those Klingons with those designs, and they were beautiful designs. I think the makeup was a bit heavy, but at the same time, they looked more alien than ever. And I really enjoyed, I want to say, the build-up to the Klingon War. And I think it was odd seeing the Shenzhou as being the main ship for the first two episodes, but it was good like seeing Michael fall from grace. Like, I genuinely liked Michael in the first season. I think it took a while to get used to sort of the production changes, but I think the characters were strong. I love Tilly. I love Saru. All of the characters were really, really great. And Brian Fuller had made changes to the Klingons because he was the Klingon guy. But I loved it. Now, I don't know what comes next. Was it Picard or was it Prodigy? Prodigy barely grazed my interest. The story was, there was no references to Starfleet. The most we got was the protostar itself. And it wasn't, I want to say, it wasn't fantastic. It didn't grab me in, but it wasn't for me. I was in my mid-30s, like I think it was not that long ago, but in my mid-30s, and it wasn't, a kid show wasn't for me. I will argue, though, that season 2 of Prodigy is the best season of Trek released in the last 5-10 years. But it genuinely, I think Prodigy's theme song is fantastic. I think the Protostar is a beautiful ship. I like Gwendala. I think out of all the characters, she was the strongest. Dal was okay. Ruk-Tuk was fun. They were all really good. And it was only when they sort of started delving into the bigger universe that it sort of got good. I think the end of season 1 was very, oh, let's bring all this stuff in. But season 2 took stuff we knew and made it really huge. So the pilot episode really doesn't show any of that. Like, the pilot episode is, oh, we found a Starfleet ship, let's go. And that was pretty much it. In terms of Star Trek Picard, it was really interesting. I liked the opening. I liked Picard where he was. It felt very reminiscent of All Good Things. It looked beautiful. The fact he left the Federation was good. I liked the dog. I think not having the TNG cast made it feel very new, and they were trying something new. The cast was very different. I think Raffi is an addition that sort of sits on the fence of being a really great character and also a really flawed character. And I genuinely enjoyed Picard, and I will still argue that season 1 and 2 were better than season 3. Argue with me in the comments. But overall, we get to Lower Decks. And Lower Decks is funny. Like, it instantly, I knew what it was because I know Rick and Morty, I know these cartoons, I know the cartoon styles, but the amount of references and love for Star Trek instantly made that fun for me. And I really enjoyed Lower Decks. I think that it is a shame that it got cancelled. I think, to be honest, great voice cast, great set of characters on a great ship. The Cerritos grew on me. Like, I thought it was really weird looking in the beginning, but it grew on me. But yeah, so Lower Decks by far, like, just had me instantly because it was just all these references and it was a silly cartoon. I don't really watch Rick and Morty though, which is weird. I watch Solar Opposites, which is Mike McMahon. Then we go on to Strange New Worlds, which is essentially the pilot I've been waiting for since I saw The Cage when I was younger. And seeing Pike in season 2 of Discovery, I loved Pike and I loved, I wouldn't say I loved Ethan Peck initially, but I liked him in Strange New Worlds. I think Rebecca Romaine is fantastic. When Mystique becomes number 1, perfect. I think the casting, like taking them, and the fans wanted this show, taking those three, putting them on the bridge of an Enterprise, an updated sort of, but still harkening back version of the Enterprise, really fantastic. I think that Anson Mount's Pike is very different from Jeffrey Hunter's Pike, much more in the vein of the Pike from the Kelvin Timeline movies. And I think Rebecca Romijn plays this character who's sort of bringing the emotions out a bit more than number one in the cage. I think Ethan Peck is by far the sexiest Spock. And also he manages to channel that youthful Spock really, really well. Strange New Worlds is a unique one because I feel like I can't say anything bad about it. Every episode is good or above. Then we come to, and Section 31, it's tricky. Is it a movie or is it a TV pilot? The answer is it's a TV pilot where they shove the entire season into a 1.5 hour movie. And if you look at the bare essentials of Section 31, certain characters are really interesting. Like, for an example being Rachel Garrett, seeing her growth and seeing her become more commanding and in charge would have been really interesting. Seeing Georgiou deal with the atrocities she committed in the Mirror Universe would have been so damn interesting. Seeing the other characters, like the mechanical guy, Jeff? I can't remember his name. But he talks in an interview about how his character was actually paraplegic. And so the mech suit helps him walk and stuff like that. So he has, like, the reason he thinks the mech suit is a part of him in the film is because it literally helps him move and walk. Having a Deltan in there, you could have explored that race of which we know but we don't know. Irish little bug in a robot suit, Vulcan. Who knows? But there was just genuinely, there was elements in it that really interested me. And I think as a series would have been good to explore and expand on these different characters. But they didn't. Now that's no one's fault. It had lots of stop-starts. Michelle Yeoh got really big. It's sort of, I get why it's probably a bit mishmash. I enjoyed it, but it is a very flawed pilot/film. Now, what did you think about all the Star Trek pilots? I'm pretty sure I got all of them. Oh, the animated series. And I'm only doing this last because, to be honest, it's the hardest one for me to watch. It's just TOS continued. So that's why I didn't mention it. It's just more TOS. Which is fine. There's some great episodes in there, but it's just more. and sometimes the animation can be a bit wacky, but I do like the alien design where they go a bit crazy. What did you think about each of these pilots? Tell me in the comments. I will be back on one of these days with another video. Check out some other videos. Voyager reviews. There's a little bit of Deep Space Nine, a little bit of TNG. There's so much here on Trek Trav. I will see you next time.